Hello again, everyone. Welcome to part 3 of Dr. Robotnik's Creature Capture. Today we head into one of my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog stages, Spring Yard Zone.
Ready? Go!
I love this place. This entire environment is like one gigantic modern art piece. Everything about this level, the look, the atmosphere, even the music, it all gels together so well. It's easily one of my favorite Sonic stages of all time, and definitely my favorite of the first game. In any case, Act 1 is simple enough, the level layout isn't too huge, and the animals are fairly easy to find. Really, after finishing Marble Zone, Spring Yard does come across as something of a breather level before heading into Labyrinth. And believe me, I am perfectly okay with that. So, even though this is just a fan-made ROM hack, Eggman almost was playable on the Sega Genesis back in the 90s. He was one of several concept designs considered for the role of Sega's mascot at the time. And I just glitched through the wall there. I think if I were playing the unaltered Sonic ROM, that would have killed me, but since there's no death in this game, it just pushed me out and put me back on course. How nice. Yeah, though, the original concept for Sega's mascot was just Dr. Eggman in his pajamas and a nightcap holding a pillow. More than likely, this was meant to compete with Mario, Nintendo's mascot. You know, Nintendo and Sega were big rivals at the time, after all. So I find it interesting that their original strategy to compete with Mario was just to create another portly, mustached man to go on adventures. Before they switched over to Sonic, who was essentially the anti-Mario, he seemed to be designed specifically to be everything Mario wasn't. It was nice, though, that they still used the leftover Eggman design for the villain of the series. Still, mascot or not, come on Sega, give Eggman his own game. And there we go, Act 1 completes. See you guys in Act 2.
Ready?
So before we head forward, we want to turn around and grab this one animal right behind the starting point, and jump up here for the capsule. On! Yeah, Spring Yard Zone also has these one-word messages strewn about all over the place, like cope and CPU. It's one of the things I love about this place. Now that we've got the 3 animals by the starting point, let's head up on this ledge and continue forward. Most of the animals in this stage are clustered pretty closely together. Let's just head back up here, and avoid these bumpers in order to save time. Get the animal up here, and make the return trip. Since this is a modified Sonic the Hedgehog ROM, the same momentum and physics are still largely present. One of the key differences, of course, is that Eggman cannot curl into a ball, which makes gaining speed on these slopes a little bit more difficult when he's heading up. Going down, on the other hand, works just fine. He definitely speeds up considerably, as he should. So, personally, I've always liked to think that City in the background of Spring Yard Zone is in fact Starlight Zone, an upcoming stage in the game. Perhaps Labyrinth Zone is between them, it would make sense. Just a thought. We just passed the cope sign, by the way. My favorite of the random one-word messages in this stage. It's just such an encouraging, albeit brief, message. So, as I mentioned in the first video, Dr. Eggman wants to collect these animals to power up his robots. Again, he uses them as a sort of living battery to power the robots. Interestingly, the early instruction manuals, which influenced the cartoons and comics and other supplementary media, always phrased it as Eggman was turning animals into robots. This led to the popular concept of roboticization, which was popularized by the cartoon series, where Robotnik did not use animals to power his machines, but he physically transformed their flesh into metal. Needless to say, it's a bit different than what actually happens in the games. It is kind of interesting how much things can differ from the source material when a game is adapted into a cartoon or a movie, though. I mean, look no further than the Mario movie for a good example of that. Alright, we've got all the animals, now to dash to the finish plate. Let's just wait for this platform here. Oops, I still managed to get onto it. Excellent. Now to fall under here and finish the stage. That's it for Act 2. See you in Act 3.
Ready? Go!
And here we are in Act 3, which introduces a mechanic that I'm actually not terribly fond of, these cumbersome elevators that seem to serve no purpose other than to delay your progress, which is a bit of a problem in this stage due to the time limit we're given. In the original Sonic the Hedgehog, these were even worse because it was very easy to accidentally crush yourself between one elevator and another, which of course would kill Sonic instantly. Fortunately, there are only 2 animals at the beginning of the stage, so we won't need to use the elevators too much. Unfortunately, it's also where the finish post is, so after we collect all the animals, we'll have to ride them one last time. For now, let's get up and get this last animal at the starting location before we continue on through the rest of the level. Any day now, elevators. There we go. So, you just want to duck under here and get this pig before proceeding back to the elevators. Here we go. Ugh, these elevators do bore me. I need something to lift my spirits. I mean, it really is a shame, too, because other than the Spring Yard Zone is fantastic. Oh no, Spring, we definitely don't want to go back up there. Not yet, anyway. Just jump over the spring to get this easy-to-miss chicken here, and head back to the capsule. Now let's head back to the spring, but actually use it to go up this time. Then, of course, let's grab the nearby chicken and head back. Just as quickly as we can, make our way back to the capsule. And once again, make our way back to the upper level. Now, although it seems like we have a lot of time, you have to remember that we still need to ride those slow elevators one last time to get back to the goal. So we still need to get that last animal as quickly as possible to make the slow journey back to the finish plate. This last animal can be found right up here. Just ride this platform, go on the horizontal one, go to this platform, and very carefully, so you don't lose your progress, leap across and jump up. Now to head to the capsule and the finish post in that order. Yeah, we're fine. 40 seconds is more than enough to get back to the end. Let's just get on these elevators and make our gradual ascent. Very gradual. Finally, simply drop under the beginning of the stage and pass the finish post. And with that, we are done with Act 3 and with Spring Yard Zone. That takes care of Part 3. Join me next time for Part 4, where we go to Labyrinth Zone. See you then!